Noth, YouthWorks Director at Project Iowa, and I'm joined by Jamie Loggins Evans, who's our Marketing Director. And we are your hosts for the show, as you know by now. And we're really excited to be joined today by Noah Beacom, who is a former participant, a board member, a friend of the organization, and a friend of mine personally. Having him on the show today is going to be a lot of fun. So, Noah, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. You're welcome.
I want to start off by telling us just a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I always say I'm the oldest of 10 kids, born in Iowa, and currently I am Assistant Director for Residence Life at a private university here in town. What else would you like to know?
Oh, that's a great start. So, yeah. So you've been with Project Iowa for a while now. So we'd love to hear about how your journey, how'd you find us, and just kind of your journey with Project Iowa overall.
Yeah, it's probably been about 5 years. Feels like longer, but in a good way. So I had been working at a large national bank, not particularly happy there, but it was serving its purpose. And I got laid off for the second time at that bank. And I had reached out to a friend at church for some help, and she connected me with the director of the United Way of Central Iowa. So I had an informational interview with her, who then connected me with Julie, the executive director of Project Iowa. And there began the saga. which hath continued into the present.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that was kind of when?
That was like 2019. No, I can't remember. I mean, early 2019, maybe 2018.
Okay.
The pandemic squishes time in weird ways for me.
True.
So keep going then. Tell us that conversation and then what happened next.
So sat down with Julie, and here I am thinking, first the director of the United Way, like she's got a job. Of course, I'm amazing. She's going to give me a job right away. She doesn't. She sends me a Julie. Of course, Julie's going to just give me a job because I'm amazing and whatever. But she doesn't, but that's okay. So she, as we like to say, she tricked me. Because she was like, well, why don't you come? You have a background in education, and I really want a second opinion about our curriculum. So why don't you come to our classes? Well, she just wanted me to take them because she knew that they would be good for me, which they really were. So something I like to say when I talk about Project Iowa is when you've experienced job loss, or you're underemployed, or you're just unhappy with your employment in whatever way, or if it's just not fitting you well, it can be a really lonely experience, especially when you've experienced job loss. It can be very lonely, and you kind of question what you've been doing, why, what happened, what were the factors. And so Project Iowa in that moment really just kind of came around me and helped me rebuild my confidence and have kind of a new vision or direction for what I was looking professionally. And so that really helped. And then actually earlier in 2024, I also experienced a job loss. And so Project Iowa was there kind of as that safety net that caught me again and put me back on the road. So
Can you tell us more about your experience in the classes, Noah, and what exactly was impactful for you?
Yeah, so I mean, when you boil it down, it was the community piece. I will say it was we were located on the backside of the Central Iowa Shelter and Services, so it was like a lot of different types of people. So that was kind of navigated those waters at first, but Tony in particular in Paths to Purpose, that class where we kind of talk about our thoughts and feelings and how those control our reality, just got into this space where we were really vulnerable with each other. And when you're able to feel safe, you can feel vulnerable. And when you are vulnerable, you can grow. So with that communal space, and we went to class 4 times a week with each other and kind of got to see some ups and downs of, hey, I got an apartment, or hey, I got an interview. And so over time, my confidence just started to grow, and this chance to, what I would say, dream and have others cheer me on in my dream, I guess just made the next step possible.
Wow.
So we haven't talked a ton about Tony in our podcast yet, but we'll eventually have Tony on. But Tony Wilson, we kind of refer to him as the father of Project Iowa. He really defined and made the curriculum for Path to Purpose. And I know that Tony is a friend of yours and a mentor, and just didn't know if you wanted to share anything more about your experience with Tony. And
well, Tony he's an educator like me, and he uses the word, the basis of education etymologically means to draw out, and that's an important part of the philosophy of Project Iowa. Is that we already have the answers inside of us. And so as teachers, facilitators, educators, we merely draw those things out. Tony also, in his own gentle way, won't let you get away with much. So he'll say, well, you said you wanted to do this. Why aren't you doing it? Or you told me you're thinking like this. How is that helping you? Or he'll just really invite people, at least my experience, to open up and talk about kind of what's actually going on. So, yeah.
Can you tell us more about the community effect, Noah? Thinking back to the folks in the room with you, were folks coming from a similar place? Were they coming from different places? Tell me more about that dynamic, because I agree with you. That's a really big part of the experience.
Yeah. And actually, I went through Paths to Purpose a second time back in January. So people are from all positions, spots in their career, life, bringing together diverse experiences, but we're all kind of looking for and needing the same thing, which is to feel supported and to feel like we're not alone in the place and the journey that we're on at that moment. So,
yeah, I know when, because Noah and I actually first met when he was going through the program, and I was actually with a different organization, and we all came together.
Yeah,
and,
I forgot that.
Yeah, and kind of this, I think it was kind of an experiment in some ways, and but the power of that was that people that I would have probably never met otherwise in my life, we sat there in community and realized that you have that problem too? Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going. So how are you handling it? And, really that community is such an important part. And I want you to talk a little bit about Sanctuary as well, because I know that that's an important part of our program, but to you as well.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because one of the most important things I remember about that night is that Tony was not going to let you in as a visitor until we all agreed that it was okay. And so that's about Sanctuary. So again, I'm not kind of a word nerd. I am a word nerd. Sanctuary comes from the word for holy, which whole is wholeness. Holy comes from wholeness. So when we talk about sanctuary, it's a place where we can show up with our whole selves. And part of protecting that sanctuary was Tony saying, this is your space. This is your sanctuary. So I have these people who would like to come, but it's not up to me. And so that felt like a really nice way to just feel safe. And so I've been in leadership roles for the past 3 or so years, and I've tried to help create that with my teams. I guess you probably have to ask them if I'm doing it.
Sure.
But I know it's what I need to grow and thrive in the workplace. And so I try to create that for my team members as well.
I want to go back to your timeline, Noah, because you mentioned that you experienced job loss a second time, and you came back to Project Iowa again. But it was different that time, right? Because you'd already been through the program, Cultivating Careers, before. And then you came back to us, and you kind of had different things you were pursuing and thinking about doing. So can you tell us more about coming back and maybe what was that like, and kind of, it gets to our motto about like once Project Iowa, always Project Iowa, right? So tell us more about that.
Yes. And that was another part of that sanctuary, but also family feeling that Project Iowa offers, that you're not going to just finish the program and then we're going to put you on our grant report and send you on your way. And that also helped me to be vulnerable, because, when I know that I'm going to be able to count on people for a while, it makes me a little bit more willing to trust. And then I was experiencing just some unhappiness and stress in my last job. So that's when I took the course again. And then it turned out I experienced unexpected job loss like a month after I finished that last round. So it turned out to be good timing. And then I think just immediately, I don't know the analogy or metaphor, but just knowing that y'all were there, like, just helped keep my boat afloat, even as I was experiencing choppy waters.
What do you think, or why do you think people should seek out Project Iowa?
Really,
and maybe while you're thinking about it, just to add to it, it's hard to seek out help or support. It's hard to go join a group. It sounds like it's a big investment of time, or it sounds risky, or we have a very individualist culture here in America. So there's a lot of reasons why someone wouldn't want to join. Why do you think they should if they're in a similar position?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I want to honor that fact too. Us all being in the Project Iowa soup, we know the fruits that being around us brings. And when I talk to people who are kind of considering taking classes, or maybe they are taking, I have a friend who just started this cycle.
Oh, good.
Yeah. There's nerves. There's anxiety. What is going on? What is this? What is going to be? And you're also showing up to someplace saying like, hey, I'm not where I want to be at work, or maybe at life, or whatever. Like, and that in itself is a vulnerable step. So I want to honor that anxiety and that vulnerability, because I felt it too coming to Project Iowa. I guess I'm part of another organization that says, like, come and try us, and if you don't like it, we'll gladly refund your misery.
Misery.
Yeah. So what do you have to lose? I don't know. I don't think you have too much to lose, because, again, it's free. Give yourself the gift of trying something new, with the knowledge that although nothing is certain in life, there's some pretty cool people to be met. And not only that, we're probably looking forward to meeting you too. So
absolutely. And it can be so hard to find connection these days with the way technology is. I mean, I was hearing something about how Gen Z is having such a tough time with this because they just don't spend as much time in the presence of their friends and family. It's just so much screen time, and it's not the same, So it's like in this moment, I feel like people can benefit from this more than ever. I know I benefited from it a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I don't, it's hard to remember too much time before screens. So I just feel like this is needed. It's met the moment, whatever that moment is. I don't know, but it's met that moment.
Yeah. So as you look into the future, not just for Project Iowa, but for yourself, what are some dreams and goals that you have? You're still a young soul.
Yeah.
Got some time in the workforce.
So I'm almost 40, and I read a quote that 40 is the old age of youth.
Oh,
so
interesting.
I'm still in the youth.
You are in the youth, yes.
I'm the old age of youth. One thing that I'm finding is that in this new job that I like and that I think suits me well, I'm still bumping into a lot of the things that I've bumped up into other jobs. And so for me, that means what's the common denominator? Noah. Noah Beacom. Surprise! And so I think what I'm hoping to explore now is how I can allow myself to grow and change so that I can enjoy work that's suitable for me without having kind of my own headaches show up and not like I don't know what the right word is, but not preventing my own success with kind of old patterns and old behaviors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really reflective. It's like, okay, if this and this and this keep happening, maybe I'm the one doing it. Maybe I could change more about my mindset or something.
Yeah. Yep. And the evidence shows I can't blame the job anymore because it's like we tried a couple different things. So but that's not an indictment of me. And I think that's another thing that you have with Project Iowa is sort of like an acceptance of who we are, and we definitely cannot get it right all in one go.
No.
And so every single job I've had, I think I've improved in some way.
Hear a little bit your thoughts on, what's your hope for Project Iowa in the future?
Yeah, I think my hope for Project Iowa in the future is that we can take our secret sauce and make it not so secret.
Yes.
And I think you both know what I mean by that, but for those that may not, our ability to circle around people and provide them with a protective layer that also challenges folks to learn, grow, and become, integral parts of their communities. I don't think any other organization in town can really do that the way we do it. However, that's hard to translate into fundraising dollars sometimes, or grants or grant reports. And so I think the entire board will really know that we have something special, and we know that we need to figure out a way to make that secret sauce not so secret.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Can you think of something in your life, Noah, that's different, or something that you do differently now as a result of this experience? Maybe comparing who you are now to who you were 2, 3, 4 years ago.
I don't know if the word confidence captures it entirely, but that's what comes to mind. I'm in the car buying process right now. And
I'm sorry.
Yes, it was unexpected. And there's a difference when so I live at my job. Okay, I live in the place I work. So I'm not desperate for a car.
Sure.
And that totally changes the game when you are trying to negotiate, when you're looking for something. And so I can look for more of what I want. And I guess maybe something that Project Iowa gave me too is not only maybe having more confidence in my dream, but also more confidence that I deserve that dream too. So I don't know. And I just, honestly, we can't really do anything great in life without other people, and not just other people, but other good people. And I'm just lucky to have found it in y'all and the Project Iowa family. So,
well, you're a true lifelong learner. I know that about you. You are constantly so.
Well put.
Yeah, and I just know
sometimes I like give it a break, like, give it a rest, like chill, bro.
But you're very insightful. So I think that leads you to, I want to learn this now, or I need to develop this, or whatever. But I think that's a great gift and skill to have, is that you want to continually better yourself, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we got here with the podcast. So do you want to tell a story, or should I start it out? And
I'll tell it.
Okay, go for it.
No, I mean, I was
from the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so my prior job was nonprofit work, public health. And one thing that I saw everywhere is really great people, pretty good ideas, really hard time getting the ideas into reality. And so I was like, gosh, somebody like has to have studied this whole like making ideas a reality thing. Because it just frustrated me that we would come up, we were such caring, kind, compassionate people, but we kind of ran into some of the same things over and over again. So I started kind of investigating project management, and then I got studied for my certified associate in project management through the Project Management Institute. And as part of that process, and with the time that I had being not employed full-time, I asked y'all if y'all had a project that I could take on. And you said podcast. And it was like, we were like, okay, well, we don't need a meeting about this anymore. I'll just do the podcast.
Right.
So I started taking some of the things that I was learning and studying for the exam and applying them to this project. And it's really cool that y'all got it off the ground. And I think we both acknowledged that the work that I put in, I think, helped get it going.
Yeah.
And so I think for me to see that the principles of project management help turning an idea into reality, because this podcast would be a perfect example of something that really cool, intelligent people would want to do that wouldn't ever happen just because of certain, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it'd be like a key example of that.
Yeah.
So to be able to apply those project management principles, and it sounds like a really boring discipline, but actually, because it has the power to make things happen, it's actually not that boring.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's exciting.
Well, it was, I just will flat out say it would not have happened without you. So we are so grateful, because it's been so fun, and I really think it is adding value to our community. Obviously, from a marketing promotion standpoint, it's great, and really at the end of the day, it was a matter of I couldn't make it a priority with everything else, in my bucket. And so for you to hand me a plan and I just had to implement it, totally different.
Boom.
Totally different experience. And it's been so fun. It's been so fun. And I'm really grateful, because I think that this is going to just be a really great and fun time. And we've already had a good time.
We have.
So
guess what, y'all? You've seen the secret sauce.
Yeah.
It's not a secret anymore.
there you go.
Yep.
There you go. So anything else you want to share with us before we end this? Or
No, I'm grateful for both of you.
Well,
Grateful that you're in my life.
Noah.
Yes.
We appreciate you being here.
Yes, we
sharing your
really
story.
do. And I'm sure we'll have you on again, whether you want to or not. No.
I like attention, so I'm fine with that.
So you're fine with
We
it?
helped create the structure, and now it's going to just keep pulling you back in.
Well, you have a lot of insights on different things, and so pull you in for some different things. Maybe some project management tips eventually.
Sure.
Here, so
yeah. And just anyone who's listening who's sort of like, I know that if I were thinking about Project Iowa, I would probably research it a bunch, and I probably would like start listening to these podcasts and be sort of like, are these my people? I would just say, come find out. Come give us a shot.
Right.
We're kind of waiting for you. We're here for you.
Yep.
So
exactly.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate
You're
taking
welcome.
the time out to do it. So.
Absolutely. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We're so glad you joined us today. We would love to hear from you. So send us your questions. You can do that by commenting on this episode wherever you get your podcasts. Until then, stay inspired and keep striving for purpose and stability in your work. Thank you.